My name is Mitch Bettis. I'm the owner of the Arkansas Business Publishing Group. We're a media and marketing company here in the state. And I have been the owner here for about 4 years. I've been at the company for more than a decade, and I've been in this industry for almost 35 years. And I consider that a lot of fun. But outside of this place, what I do for fun and what our family has done for fun is really tried to teach our young children that there is a much bigger world that they need to experience than what we might have here in downtown Little Rock or in West Little Rock. So about 20 years ago, a friend of mine told me he did this thing with his sons. And that thing was, when they turned 13, he took them anywhere in the world they wanted to go. And I thought, that's amazing. That is part of our just journey of trying to expose them to international travel and other culture. So we homeschool. So how this all sort of ties together is around 4 or 5 years old, we tell our kids, this is what we'd like to do with you. And then they begin to think about, well, what is it like in Brazil? Or what's it like in Russia or China or Lithuania or Nigeria? And we sort of work that into our curriculum. We study their customs and their culture. Through the years, they start thinking about the world in a little different place. And when they turn 13, they get to choose where they want to go. So we've done this with all 3 kids. I have a 21-year-old son who I would say is not necessarily the big planner in the family. He knew that he wanted to go to England, so he chose Birmingham and London, England. But then literally he put a giant map on a dartboard, threw a dart, and it landed in Madrid. So he got 2 stops on his trip. My middle daughter is now 16, but for her 13-year-old trip, she chose Athens and Paris, and we saw an incredibly different part of the world. And then my youngest daughter is 13. We just returned where she wanted to go, and she chose London and Paris. I guess you have to go to those places. One of the kind of beautiful things about this is to be able to see the world through their eyes. These are places they've heard about, things we've talked about for years leading up to this trip, seeing people in a different way, frankly realizing how much we're all the same. One of the interesting things about this trip is that the kids could choose any place in the world they wanted to go, except for Italy, because nobody goes to Italy until my wife goes to Italy. That was her rule and her trade-off in this journey. And so in March, my wife and I are finally getting to take a trip to Italy. Turns out she's also 13. Now I know that sounds like a Southern story or an Arkansas story, but she's a leap year baby. So in February, she technically turns 14. So we have joked this is her 13-year-old trip, that we are finally getting a trip to Italy together, frankly to celebrate our 25th wedding anniversary. But to be able to go to Italy, a different place in Europe, I think is going to be a lot of fun for the both of us.